What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the video. So today you catch me at work, and today I got to replace this door handle right here because, as you can see, it is completely broken. This is a 2014 Chevy Silverado, and this is apparently pretty common to break, so I'm going to show you how to replace it. It's just this piece of trim right here. I got this one off of Amazon. I'll see if I can link it below. So to start off, you got this little panel here. You got to pop that off. You just get a screwdriver under there and pop that one out, and then you got one on the lock here. You got to pop that out too. Get a little screwdriver. Aha! I found it. And now this right here can just slide right off. I recommend putting all your parts in a small box so you can keep track of them. Next one, we got this little panel in here. You might be able to do it just a screwdriver. There we go. Now we got to undo that bolt right there. And you got one more panel right here behind your door handle. Just pop that out and you'll see there are two 10mm bolts right there you got to remove. Now your panel has a bunch of clips on the inside holding it to the door. Usually I believe you can get a special tool to pry this open properly, but I'm pretty sure I can do it with some screwdrivers. I'll pop this panel off and I'll show you on the back side where those clips are. And then there's also going to be wires hanging that connect like this switch and these switches to the door. You're gonna have to unhook those before the entire panel comes off. Okay, so I just stuck two small screwdrivers in here. I was pushing up, make sure it's holding the plastic in so I don't snap the plastic. And you'll just hear a loud audible pop. And there was another one. There's another one. And right there, these pins are popping out of the metal. So you're gonna go around and pop all of those out. And then this panel right here has to come off. Sometimes you can just gently wiggle it out like that. Now this one right here has this piece right here broke off the original one right there, but it still goes back in place and is held in. It's not loose or anything. Now you'll start to feel this door panel's coming loose. There we go. By the way, these pieces of plastic that are falling, it seems like the door is breaking apart, but really it's just this right here has a bunch of cracks in it. And there's broken pieces sitting inside the door. But you grab the door panel and just, there we go. You hear those pops, and they don't sound nice, but it's just the door coming off. There's another one. Once you get the door popped off, and then the entire panel will lift up and come off the door. When you're taking this door apart and you're pulling the bottom out, you can only do it so far. These pins are gonna pop out, but then you got these hooks right here which are in the door. So you have to lift the door panel up and then it will pull away from the door. Once you get all the pins on the back popped out, the door panel will lift up and come off. Rotate it sideways a little bit. And on the back here, hopefully you can see, can't tell if the camera can see what I'm doing here, but there's this little cable that's connected to your door handle right here. You need to take that cable off. So for this, you'd want some needle nose pliers. A screwdriver can also work. There we go. So there's this little plastic clip right here which holds the main outside of the cable in place. You just squeeze the two flaps and it pops out, and then lift it up just like that. So you squeeze these two, it pops out, and this ball comes out with it. Now you're gonna grab a 7mm and you're basically gonna be removing the entire door handle piece here, including all the buttons on there. There's just two screws holding it in. Clip here and a clip here, just hanging onto the lip. Just get that over the edge. There we go. Once that's out, you can rotate it and push it back through. There's a bunch of plugs on the bottom. You just push the tab on top and they pop out. And there you go. There's your door panel. It's off. Okay, so on the back of the door panel, you got these little clips right here. That clip, so you basically just have to squish it down and then this entire assembly will pop up. There's also a clip on this side. Just push that in. That side goes up. Push in that clip. That side goes up. And there is your window controls. Okay, so now here's where things get tricky. So in the kit, it comes with washers. Big washers, small washers, and nuts. Because the new one is bolted in place. And you can see the original one has these little plastic pieces that were melted into the door. Now, the replacement one, all the holes will line up, but we got to get these out. This one, and 1, 2, 3 here. You can actually look at your replacement, you'll see all the spots it connects to. And you got 1, 2, 3 down there as well. And that is 1, 2, 3. To get these out, I'm going to use a drill bit and just drill it out. And I gotta be careful that when I drill that hole, that it's not too big and one of these washers will cover the outside of the hole, so to hold these bolts in place. So that's the next step. So these little pieces that come up, you're not removing those, you're just removing these little plastic inserts. Actually, you can see where it connects. There's little black tabs, and on the other side of that, we have that right there. So we got to get that plastic insert to come out. Okay, so these plastic plug or pieces that are mounted, they look pretty big, but actually underneath they're not that big. They just were probably really tall and then they squish them down so they look wider. But I just drilled that one out. Now you can see they're coming off. Now you also have to take out this screw, this one, and this one. And there we go. Now get your new one and just take off all the little rubber caps on the screws and then line up all the holes. And for some reason where this bolt right here goes, there was this little plastic piece, but that just came right out. And now I can go ahead and start lining up all these holes. Pretty much in place. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put these screws back in the back side of the panel here. So the kit comes with 2 nuts that are a little bit larger, and those go on the 2 bolts that come up through this metal panel. I'm gonna put those on first. Okay, so they give you 6 big washers, 6 small ones. I'm putting the large washers on the main part, which is up here, and then down at the bottom, I got the small washers on there. Now, what is nice, on the top of these bolts right here, there's a spot for an Allen key, which can fit right in there. That way, when you tighten this down, you know, you don't want that stud spinning, so you can hold an Allen key on there. Okay, so how you do this, put the Allen key in the top like that, hold on to it. You can use an adjustable or a wrench, and then you just turn the nut to the right, and that's gonna tighten it down. Once this nut starts getting tight, it's gonna wanna start spinning this Allen key, and once you can't hold it comfortably, that should be tight enough. And now we flip it over, and there we go. And it feels so much better having a strong door handle. So just to review, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different nuts you got to put on and tighten down, plus this screw, that screw, this one, and that one. Okay, so now it's time for reassembly. You do want to watch out for your speaker. Make sure you're not poking it or anything. Get these little hooks on the bottom lined up in the door, and they just sit on the door like that. So this door panel won't come out. You actually have to lift up and then it will come out. Grab your window controller here and feed up all the electrical connections and go ahead and plug them back in. Now you'll see that actually these plugs will only go into certain spots, and then you plug them back in where they go. These ones, you cannot confuse them. They only go in one hole, at least on this truck. Push down your window controller, it just clicks into place. So I can look around the back and make sure that it is clipped in all the way. And this right here, your door handle, again, tilt it sideways so it comes through. Oh, I left the screws in here. That's another thing. If you want to keep track of screws and where they go, you can just put them back into the spot you took them out. All right, now just line up where it goes. Pop in a little bit, get your screws, and put your screws back in. And again, when you're dealing with plastic, you don't need to crank these screws down. You just need them snug to hold this panel in place. I just want to make sure you can actually see what I just did there. So this is the door handle panel. I just put in this screw right here and this screw right over here. Now we're going to go ahead and grab the cable right here. Tilt the door up, you drop that ball in. Drop that ball in right there. And then pull on the cable, bring it around. Hopefully you guys can see this. And then you just pop that clip in, and now it is secure. And you can see when you pull your handle here that the cable is moving on the back side. Now just line up all the holes on your door. You got these pins right here, you're gonna have to line those up. But first, so make sure this rod right up here, this metal rod, that you push it down, it locks your door, you lift it up, it unlocks. Make sure that gets up underneath this slot right here. So So you can get that on top there. And also your door is going to fall into a little slit here on your weather stripping or this trim piece. It's gonna fall into the spot. And then underneath, line up all your holes. Okay, so that right there, this little rod that unlocks and locks your door. Make sure that that is on this side of this back plastic piece. Now when you set your door panel in, make sure that it is all the way over the trim. So it's over there, but it's not over the trim here. So this door panel, lift it up and put it so it's over top. Now, if you need reference, go look at your other door and you can see how it sits on this trim here. All right, now for that little threaded rod, which is your unlock and lock rod there. If you can't get that out, you just hit unlock. It'll move it up. All right, now you get your plastic indicator piece here and you just set it down so this hole is still above. And then your plastic clip, this only goes in one way. You'll see that this side is higher than the other side. And you can also see how that looks in there. The left side is taller than the right side. So put your clip in accordingly. It holds onto the threads. There you go. Now go ahead and put in the bolt there and the bolt in there. Okay, so I have encountered a problem. If you look in there, there's nowhere for that bolt to go, so the piece slid, it moved over. So you can actually see it in there and just lift it up, and now it's sitting right up there in the hole. Get your bolt and put it in there, thread it in, and you're good to go. Now you can get your little cover here and just click that in place. This little triangle piece in the corner, get these clips, line them up in the right spots, and then it clicks back on. Then you get your third piece of trim right here. It slides underneath, line it up, click it back into place, and there you go. It looks like brand new, and now we have a good steady door handle. So there we go. That was actually a pretty quick fix. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if this video was helpful. You can also follow me on Instagram at KB_KingBuilds. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.